One of the common issues people have when they're doing tablet weaving is the pattern appearing to be elongated or stretched outwards on the surface of the band. This can happen in simple double face like this band and warp twining or any of the other tablet weaving structures. There are some simple things you can do to reduce that effect. Firstly, are you beating hard enough? Each time you turn the tablets, the twists, where the threads twist around each other, caused by the tablets, have to be tightened up. So I put my shuttle into my shed and I rock it like this, and that really tightens up those twists around the weft. And sometimes I will take one hand and place it on my loom and use that to brace so that I can press the shuttle in tightly. The shuttle I use has quite a nice edge to it, so I recommend using something tapered like this as your shuttle. In the past I've used a 15cm ruler because they have quite a nice edge on them. You will find that the numbers get rubbed off it pretty quickly. Next, is the tension on your warp too high? If the tension's too high, it's really difficult to beat the weft into place because you're having to fight against the tension in the warp to tighten up those twists of thread. So I would recommend some trial and error here, because having the tension too loose on your warp will lead to the tablets flopping around, they might get out of order, and threads will catch more easily when you're trying to turn the tablets as well, which can be really frustrating. So do a bit of trial and error, work out what you are most comfortable with. Next, you could consider using a weft that is thinner than your warp threads, because the threads on the surface of the band have to pass across that weft, and if the weft is finer, that means that there's a smaller distance they have to travel, which in turn leads to the pattern appearing shorter. Next, is the band too narrow for the yarn that you're using? This is something I see quite often in people's bands, and I have an example here. In this band, for this section, I pulled the weft as tight as I possibly could. As you can see, it's kind of lumpy bumpy. We've got some loose bits appearing on the surface. It's very thick, and instead of looking like, let me find a good section, this here, it does appear a lot more stretched out. Now, you can go the other way and not pull the weft tightly enough, and there you'll end up with spots of weft appearing on the surface of the band where they wouldn't normally. So again, use some trial and error and your own judgment, but the looser you pull in the weft, the more easily you can beat it into place and tighten up the twists in the threads. So give these methods a try and find out what works for you and the way that you weave, because every band is different, every weaver is different. And if you have any other tips to help other people with this problem, please let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you for watching. Bye.